Hello, my dears. Daniela here, and welcome to another episode of the Spa Marketing Made Easy podcast. We are wrapping up Marketing Month with part 4 in this 4-part series that Lucy and I put together. Our conversations on marketing, on AI, and today we're wrapping it up by talking about why you want to do all of this and really coming to the culmination that AI is meant to help you improve your daily operations so that you can get out there and be in your community and have more connections with humans in your area. Okay. It's a really, really important piece. We don't want to remove that human component. We want to remove those repetitive tasks that are keeping you feeling like you just have this never ending pile of work of I should do that. I'm so behind in this. I'm overwhelmed with that. I don't have any time to go out and actually connect with other entrepreneurs and other leaders and other community builders in my area, which will actually be one of the greatest things that you can do, especially in the next 5 years, as there is this, desire, I think, for more human, more face-to-face, more in-person connection. So Lucy and I are going to chat about that for a little bit in this episode. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you implement what you're learning. So let's go ahead and play that part 4 of our marketing month. Something that I think is really, really important to keep front of mind is that we are not trying to completely replace humans. We are trying to replace the repeatable tasks so that we can be more present with our clients and patients, so that we can be more present in our community. And I think one of the most important shifts that we're going to see in the next 5 years is this deeper connection of community, because there's so much out there online that you're like, is this real? Is this not real? Like, what is actually happening? Some of these AI bots, some of the things that you see sending you messages on LinkedIn, or it's like, you're not a human. Yeah. Like, and so I think that this desire to come back together and this desire for community and connection is going to be incredibly important in our local areas. And so for local businesses, we're going to be talking about Chamber of Commerce. We're going to be talking about BNI. We're going to be talking about Rotary Club. We're going to be talking about entrepreneurial meetup groups in your area. These are the things I want you to go to. These are the things that you have to get out there and be the mayor of your town. That's a Daniela-ism that I say all the time. Get out there and be the mayor of your town. I want you engaging and being a part of your community and being a pillar of your community where people know that, oh, that's the spa, that's Lucy's spa, or that's, that it's very clear who you are, what you're about, and what your role is in the community. That is going to build trust. That's going to build awareness. That's going to build referrals. And what AI and these different tools are allowing you to do is handle the daily operations on such a larger scale than previously possible, so that you can go out and build these relationships. It's not to just we can't just hide behind our computers. We have got to get out. We've got to engage. We've got to connect with one another and build those relationships. That is the most important thing that we can be doing to grow our businesses, for sure.
Yeah. And I think if we look at our evolution, or at least when I started, when you originally hired me, I don't know if you remember, but you would get Google Docs from me with just lengthy posts that were we need to have the words written on social to start that conversation. And that was a very big trend at that point. It was influencers and coaches of the sort. It was we weren't doing videos. So it was we just have a static image and then we have really long posts. And so when you think about that, that took so much time that of course it was like, now I don't have time to like take all of these topics and put it into a blog and then put it into an email and then potentially take what was used on Instagram and transform it to Facebook because again, that's a whole different conversation, but like you don't want to just copy and paste.
And let alone LinkedIn, right? Like Instagram and LinkedIn are two.
Like you are a different persona on these different platforms and you want to speak that way. And that's where this time discussion really comes in because you had also shared like, how am I going to write a blog every week and then also turn it into an email? This is now this is solving that problem that we've been talking about for a couple of years of like, I really only have time to get Instagram done. Well, no, now you can start on Instagram and then you can ask chat, okay, like how can I transform this into something for email, or how can I take this email and turn it into a blog post? And it's just, you get to focus on creating the quality content and then chat does the heavy lifting of transforming it for you for the different platforms. And I think that's really important because then it frees up your time to have these quality conversations in person with people while you know your systems for your weekly blog are
Running in the background,
taking you an hour to 2 hours rather than just coming up with topics for an hour and then trying to write. Like, so that's a really big takeaway here.
I love that.
I don't miss writing those captions.
I feel like in 11 years, like anyone that is like
channel.
starts as a social media manager, they're like, I'm never doing social again. It's
I get asked that all the time because my life before working with you was like my own social media management business. And it was great. I learned so much and I got to learn other skills while doing social because I partnered with a lot of people like SEO specialists or a website person or video people. And I got to be creative and things like that and tap into different areas. But coming up with like different clients social every month was like, oh my gosh, am I going to be doing this for the rest of my life? Am I this creative? Like in a good way, like in a good and bad way. Like it was just, sometimes it just became monotonous.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot to be, because social is that highlight reel and we're not always on 24. I mean, there's stuff that goes on in lives that someday you just maybe feel like being cozy in your jammies and you're not in a witty or creative mood, right? Or
no. And then when you think about it, what I was doing was offering services. And so then I am also an entrepreneur and I didn't even have my own stuff set up. And I was like, that comes last. That comes last. I got to fulfill these deadlines for clients and then find time to like, okay, let's like create my own reels about how to use Canva, how to use this, how to use that. It was like, there wasn't enough time. And I will say specifically in the last 6 months, time has felt shifted where I am able to prioritize higher level tasks and knowing that these repeatable processes are taking care of themselves and I can just review them and add on.
The incredible thing about that, Lucy, is our team, we have shrunk our team by 4 people and we have 5x the productivity.
We really have.
So the amount of work that you're doing now, there was a point where you're like, I can only handle Instagram.
Yeah.
And now you're handling multiple platforms, a freaking magazine, like something else that a 50-page magazine that we're throwing in there. You know, I mean, there's a lot of stuff in there. So I think that's just a testament of like, for the first time, saying, I actually feel like I have time to do higher level tasks, but your productivity output is for sure 5x what it was before. That's the power of what you can do with chat. And also being adaptable, because you did have to learn new skills, right? Like if you were only doing social media management, your company would be out of business. You know, you would have to figure out how to adjust and adapt.
Yeah.
And
That's why I'm grateful that we met. Because that gave me the opportunity to shift into different types of management of marketing. Like I still do social media and it's still such an important part of business in general, but you're exactly right. Like a lot of those
writing, you're the strategy, the higher level thinking of what makes sense. How do I refine our document? How do I prompt better? How do I, all of those types of things. All right, my dears. Well, that wraps it up. That wraps up Marketing Month. Thank you so much for listening. I hope that you found value. I hope that you have items on your to-do list to actually implement those. Make the time to do that for yourself. I promise you won't regret it. This is something that is not going away, and it's something that can really genuinely help lift some of the burden of the to-dos in your business. Okay. So if you want to keep this conversation going, please head over to the Spa Marketing Made Easy Facebook group. I am in there live every Thursday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, answering questions, providing trainings. Starting next month in November, we are doing a new series called Laser Coaching, where we've got a bunch of questions that have been submitted to us, and we are using the opportunity of this incredible Facebook group to be able to answer your questions. So make sure that you're there for that, and I will catch you on the next episode.